How's it going, everybody? Doing a drink review here today, and then a gum chewing NFL recap for week 5. I'm going to briefly just talk about the MLB playoffs as well, and I'll say it right now since hockey does start tonight. I think Pittsburgh plays somebody, and I don't know who else. Chicago might play Pittsburgh, and Seattle plays someone. I don't know. 2 games tonight. I know the Islanders start on the 14th, I believe, so you're going to see a couple of games going between the next few nights. So hockey is ready to go. And then I will talk about baseball briefly, and then I'll talk about baseball. I'm drinking this. Then I'll get into the recap with the gum chewing, but I'll be retrieving what? I'll be reviewing the Nitro Pepsi Vanilla Draft. I do like this, I will say. I did have it. I got this one last week, and I drank it before I could do a review of it. But they want you to pour hard. They say to chill can, pour hard, and enjoy. I like this one better than the other one. I do like the other one, but smaller bubbles and a smoother taste. It does actually have a smoother taste. It's almost like, for me, I would almost put it in between like a regular Pepsi and a Diet Pepsi. It like has this in-between taste. Kind of slightly vanilla-y taste, but it does taste a little different than the other one. But like I said, it's like that in-between. But it goes down smoother. It's not like, it feels like it's not as, I guess, carbonated. It's actually a little bit refreshing as well for a soda. Like, I like plenty of sodas, but only a few, and they're usually Mountain Dews, actually quench my thirst. Sodas usually don't do that for me. But you can taste that kind of, I guess, creaminess almost. I do think it's pretty good, though. Baseball playoffs have started. They started like last week, I think. They had the preliminary round, or whatever you want to call it. Dodgers and Braves had the bye. We'll call it the bye. They call it the bye. In the NL, the AL, it was Baltimore and who? Oh, Houston. Houston ended up winning that division. I think they had the same record as Texas, but I guess tiebreaker or something. Twins actually got out of the preliminary round 2-0. It's best of 3. They beat... Who they beat? Toronto, I believe. So they haven't been out of the first. They had lost like 16 playoff or 18 playoff games in a row. They were always losing to the Yankees for a bit. Twins would always get there and couldn't do anything. I don't think they hadn't won a playoff round, I think, since they won the World Series in '91. So they are tied 1-1 with Houston. They're playing Houston. Texas beat. Everything was a sweep in the first round. All 4 series were 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. They had beaten, Texas had beaten Tampa 2-0. Now they're up 2-0 on Baltimore. So they're doing pretty well. In the NL, it's the Dodgers. Well, the Diamondbacks beat Milwaukee 2-0. And they're up 2 on the Dodgers, and I go to Instagram of other teams because I'm curious to see how the fans are reacting. And of course, they're all like, "Of course, Dodgers every year, they're frauds." They're down 2-0 Diamondbacks, and Diamondbacks beat the Brewers in the preliminary round. I'm just calling it that, whatever they're calling it, I don't know. And Philly beat the Marlins 2-0. And now Philly's tied with the Braves 1-1. They had one game one. Braves came back and won last night, game 2. So that's what's happening in the I was going to say NHL, the MLB playoffs. This is good, though. It's smooth. It's got a creamier taste. There's slight vanilla in there. It's not a strong vanilla, but it's solid. I would give this an 8 out of 10. I do like it. All right, now into, that's a Nitro Pepsi, by the way. Vanilla Draft Cola, 8 out of 10. Let's get to the NFL games. I don't know if I'm going to do the full season of these. I've realized, like, it's making me have to pay attention to the NFL more than I want to, and it's starting to annoy me. Some of the games, mostly with Denver. But anyway, Bears get their first win of the season. They blow up the Commanders, who I think have lost 3 in a row now. That was a Thursday game. Fields and another, I think, 4 TD game or 3. DJ Moore, that's his name, had 3 TDs, like 230 yards, so hell of a week for him. They pick up their first win of the season. The Bears, Jags, and I think it was a London game, beat the Bills 25-20, so that's a big win for them. Jags are 3-2 now, I believe. Buffalo's 3-2 also. Not a lot going on in that game. Lawrence had a TD, 15 yards, touchdown. Travis Etienne, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He has 136 yards rushing, 2 TDs, so he did have a big game. Calvin Ridley, 7 for 122 receiving for the big Bills. Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns, a pick, 359 yards. They ran the ball 14 times for 29 yards. Diggs is having a great year. He's 121 yards receiving and a touchdown. So Jags get a big win there. I think that propels the Dolphins into first, I believe, right? Yeah, because Dolphins only 1 loss. Falcons beat the Texans. This was a tight game, actually. The Texans had taken a lead late, and then Atlanta took over again. Atlanta's 3-2, and Texans are 2-3, but playing pretty good. And this rookie they have, C.J. Stroud, this guy is doing great. I think he had just broken the record that Prescott had for, like, most passes for a rookie. Start the season with a pick. Still hasn't thrown one, apparently. Hit a touchdown, 249 yards. Outside of that, they didn't really do much. This guy Schultz has a TD receiving. Falcons, Desmond Ridder, touchdown, 329 yards. I don't know if he's a rookie, too, but he's doing pretty decent as well. Kyle Pitts, 7 for 87. Workman-like game. I mean, they ran the ball 36 times for 96 yards, the Falcons, so tight game. And Houston's been competitive. They're 2-3, but they've been good for them to have a QB that looks like he could be decent. Of course, it's only 5 games this season. Lions beat up on the Panthers. Obviously, the Lions will probably run away with that division now. It seems to be their division because I think all those other teams are like 1-4. Or no, Green Bay's 2-3 now. But Goff is having a great year. Good for him, too, because he kind of got pushed aside and traded, obviously, with Stafford. And obviously, the Rams won their Super Bowl, so you can't complain about that, obviously, at all. But Goff's good. This guy, Bryce Young, I don't know if he's a rookie. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks for the Panthers. Adam Thielen has 107 yards and a touchdown receiving. I said Goff, 3 TDs, 20 of 28, 236. David Montgomery, running back, $1.09 on the ground. Goff had a rushing touchdown as well. Craig Reynolds, $7.52 and a touch. This guy Sam Laporta, has 2 TDs receiving. They're missing their guy, too. Aren't they missing their main receiver? I don't know his name. The Lions, but their main guy, he's pretty young. He didn't play, I would assume, that game, because I would assume he'd be getting the ball. But they could end up running away with that division because the rest of their division looks terrible. And it's only getting worse for the Vikings because they lost Jefferson. I think they just put him on the IR. Colts beat the Titans by 7, 23-16. Taylor did sign. I guess he played as well. Jonathan Taylor did end up signing a contract. Tannehill a pick. 264 yards. Derrick Henry 43 yards. They didn't do much of anything. DeAndre Hopkins had a big game, 8 for $140. Didn't seem to do much. Gardner Minshew still playing. Actually, Anthony Richardson gets in there 9 or 12. No TDs for the QBs. Zach Moss, though, is the one he's the other running back. Taylor did play 6 for 18. Zach Moss, 165 yards, 2 TDs. So, that is good for them. Dolphins could beat up on the Giants. That was expected. Giants look terrible. Obviously, I'm in New York. A lot of my friends are Giant fans, and they're just like, dude, they're done. Like, Jones, I think, got hurt. It's not like he's doing anything of note anyway. And the Dolphins had another ridiculous offensive yardage game. They didn't put up 70, but Tyrod Taylor did replace Jones in 9 12 for 86. Darren Waller, the tight end, at 86 yards, receiving for the Giants, and nothing really doing there. The Dolphins have over 500 yards of offense. Tua threw 2 picks. We threw 2 TDs and 308 yards. The Dolphins' backs go for 222 yards, 151 for Devon. I don't know how to say his last name. Akane. Tyreek Hill, $181 and a touchdown receiving. I mean, he's having a ridiculous year, too. The Dolphins moving to first. Saints destroy the Pats. The Pats look like they're done. Mac Jones got benched again. He clearly is not that good. I mean, at this point, they clearly did jack shit. Derek Carr had 2 TDs. Kamara had 80 yards rushing. Michael Thomas, 65 yards, still going. Let's see what the Pats did offensively. Mac Jones had 110 yards and 2 picks. Bailey Zappi, 22 yards. They run the ball for 45 yards on 18 carries. They do nothing. Like, their leading receiver had 43 yards. That was a destruction. No, Tyrann Mathieu is on. I didn't know he was on the Saints. Actually, he had a pick for a touchdown. A couple sacks. I only had 2 sacks, actually. Pats are done. They are just not good. I'm not going to put that all because, Belichick sucks without Brady. They just don't have talent, honestly. If Brady was on that team now, they would probably be a little bit better, but not much. Steelers beat the Ravens, and I think they actually took the division lead on that. Once again, like I said previously, the Steelers are that team that just, even when their team's not that good, they still are good. And that makes no sense. They should be kind of starting to do a rebuild almost, and it doesn't matter because they still do well. Lamar Jackson didn't do much, a pick, 236 yards. They ran the ball for 125 yards. This guy Flowers has 25. Beckham does play 2 for 13. Kenny Pickett has a touchdown passing. They don't run the ball that well either, 30 for 87. George Pickens, 130 yards and a TD. Eagles beat the Rams. They go to 5-0. I think there's only 2 undefeated teams, them and the Niners. I'll get to that Niner game in a few minutes. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit because I have to go to the bathroom. Jalen Hurts, touchdown, a pick, 303 yards. Jalen Hurts is the leading rusher as he runs for 72 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift did have 70 yards rushing as well. A.J. Brown, $127. Dallas Goedert, $117. Rams are 2-3. Stafford 2 touchdowns, no picks, but a lot of incompletes. Cooper Kupp is back, 118 yards. Receiving. Bengals beat the Cardinals. There's another the Cardinal. Why can't I remember his name? They have 2 really good receivers. Which one is it? Had another 3 receiving touchdown weeks for receivers. Jamar Chase, 3 touchdowns, 192 yards, 15 catches. So you have him. DJ Moore with the 8 for 230 and 3 TDs. They get it done. Burrow obviously has 3 touchdowns. Mixon 81 yards. Cardinals are 1-4. They were winning that game too. The Broncos lose to the Jets. The Broncos, I've talked about it, even though they won, it had to come back down. They are terrible. Sean Payton gets his because he said that weird shit about Hackett. Because Hackett was the coach last year for Denver, and he's like, oh, it was the worst performance as a coach ever. Like, what is... Sean Payton's an idiot. Like, let's be honest, dude. The game has clearly passed you by. He just keeps running his mouth. He's still thinking in his mind like he's great. It's like, dude, you have a lot of work to do on that team. They were winning that game, and then Breece Hall had a 72-yard run, and then they got back in it. Surtain had a pick, and then Wilson coughed it up, and it was a scoop and score for the Jets on the defensive end. They lose by 10. Wilson has 2 TDs, but 11 incompletes. Zach Wilson didn't do much, a pick and 199 yards. It was not a great game, really. This guy Benito on Denver had another 2 sacks, I believe. So, but Jets go to 2-3. Denver's done. And I saw on ESPN like Denver is going to be looking to trade people. They need to exactly do that because they only have 5 picks next year. They need to trade anybody, almost anybody of value, and get a bunch of picks back and build it to back up. Because they never did. A lot of football teams don't do full rebuilds. Denver hasn't done that. It's like just destroy it and just suck for another 2 years and try to build to the draft because they're in a bad place. Chiefs beat the Vikings 27-20. Chiefs are 4-1. Vikings are 1-4. Like I said, Detroit's going to end up running away with that division. Travis Kelce hurt himself, I guess. Mahomes had 2 TDs. Cousins had 2 TDs. And they lost Justin Jefferson. I don't know for how long, but I'm pretty sure I saw he's on the IR. Keeps getting worse for them. The 49ers obliterate the Cowboys 42-10. 49ers look good. Purdy throws 4 TDs. I know 3 of them went to Little. A lot of people are just done with Prescott. Dallas fans are like done with him. TD and 3 picks. They ran the ball like shit. They didn't do anything, let's be honest. Christian McCaffrey has another TD. Jordan Mason, who he is, he has 69 yards rushing. Sam Darnold throws a pass for a touchdown, for a 1 yard. Kittle, like I said, 3 TDs. Purdy, 4 TDs. Purdy looks like the real deal, and then the Niners are just stacked, honestly. It's going to probably be them and the Eagles in the championship. And the Raiders beat the Packers and knocked them 3-3. So it looks like Jordan Love's kind of, once again, these are his first starts. But he was off to a good start. He had 3 picks yesterday and 182 yards and 16-30. Garoppolo, a touchdown and a pick. Not much doing there either. And this guy Spillane has 2 picks for the Raiders. But that's the end of that week recap. And I'll probably try to do a few more. I don't know. But thanks everybody for checking us out. And have a good day.